course, that he is preparing to run for president against Donald Trump in 2020. Vice President Pence called the Times report, quote, disgraceful and offensive, and just the latest attempt by the media to divide this administration. Joining me right now is conservative commentator Gina and former chair of the Democratic Party in D.C., Scott Bolden. Good to see you guys.
Good
Gina,
afternoon.
Good to see you.
Are there some people that are just, this is wishful thinking among maybe some members of the left, that they could see the Republican Party divided even further with Vice President Pence throwing his hat in the ring against Donald Trump?
Well, that's just it. The Republican Party isn't divided. In fact, the Republican Party is in a better place than it's been in a long, long time, Trish. You know, they've outraised the Democrat Party almost 3-1, I believe, at this point. And that's many small donations, Trish, which tells you the grassroots is all in for this president and this administration.
Well,
this is simply an attempt by the New York Times just to undermine the success that we've had on this side of the aisle.
I think you're right on the attempt to undermine, but I wouldn't necessarily agree with you that everyone is as united as they could be. I think that there are a lot of members of Congress, there are a lot of folks that are still very reluctant to be fully in for this president. And this is one of the challenges that they face. That said, I look at a story like that, and the first thing I thought, Scott, was, gosh, someone is out to get Mike Pence. Because if you're Donald Trump, and now you're suddenly worried about your VP potentially playing for the other team, then you got a real problem. So this seemed as though the reporting was really catering to some of maybe the president's fears or concerns anyway. That was the entire point of it.
Well, he's got a short temper, and whether they're out to get Mike Pence or whether they're out to get the president or just the Republican Party, here's the deal, though. In that article, they lay out a pretty clear reason why they think that Pence is gearing up if he doesn't run, if Trump doesn't run in 2020. They talk about his PAC outraising Trump's PAC in the last reporting period. They talk about him keeping up a heavy schedule. They talk about him hosting small conservative groups at the vice president's house. And this is the conduct of a vice president in the second term, not the first term. And by the way, Pence was advised by senior Republicans not to start that PAC. It has outraised money. It is competing with Donald Trump's PAC. How else can you extrapolate that perhaps if Donald Trump is not on the ticket in 2020, that Pence is gearing up for it, just in case?
Gina, you want to answer that?
I love the Republicans. I love them.
It's that it's more fun actually watching the Democrats right now, who have lost virtually every race in recent history. But I will say that
we're going to win. We're coming back.
This vice president. Keep hoping. This vice president is just one of the most loyal, enthusiastic. He loves his president. I've seldom seen such an affinity between a vice president and a president. That's the least of the worries of the Republican Party. Trish, you mentioned some of the members of Congress that could be a little more supportive of this president's agenda and be in a little bit better cahoots with the American people, if that were the case. But it's not. But this is about the 1,000 races that the Democrats have lost. This is about a desperate media who really has no credibility with the American people, Trish. And this is about a party that continues to lose and still has no leadership, no message, and nothing good on the horizon for 2018 or 2020.
Let me share with you.
What does that have to do with the facts of that story, though? What does it have to do?
Here's the White House's response. Hang on. Hang tight. White House response, Kellyanne Conway.
That is complete fiction. That is complete fabrication. And I know that his advisors, who had comments attributed to them, have pushed back very strongly, as has the vice president, and as am I right now, unequivocally. Vice President Pence is a very loyal, very dutiful, but also incredibly effective vice president, an active vice president with this president. He is a peer to the president in the West Wing.
All right, Scott, they're saying this ain't true.
Oh, they always say it's not true. That's fake news, probably. Here's the bottom line. The Republicans in the House and Senate are openly opposing the president now. He's at 36%, and so he's got these problems. But watch this. The facts of what's in that article is pretty clear that Pence and others, they named Sass out of Nebraska, they're all acting like they're going to Iowa, they're going to New Hampshire within 6 months of this presidency. That's unexplainable, regardless of what you think about the Democrats.
well,
All right? It's open warfare. It's a civil war. And now the Senate
I do think
Republicans are acting
you're onto
like
something in that this is not a united party, and people are not
By
united
no means.
behind him. And
But
he
I'm
may
glad
face some
I'm glad he
obstacles, but
still
I don't think he's
believes
going
all
to
the
face
fake
it from his own
polls.
vice president. Go ahead, Gina. Final thoughts.
Yeah, I'm glad he still believes all the fake polls that lost the last election for them because they believed them and sat back on their laurels.
That
And
was
I
a
hope
good
they
one.
keep sitting back. And I hope they keep not cultivating new leadership or new messaging or a platform that resonates with middle America, because they will continue then to lose and to hand this president a supermajority in 2018. And I think that would be just fine.
Thank you so much,
Not
Scott.
when they're at
Thank
war
you
with
so much. Good
themselves.
to see you guys. Congressional Republican.